Hello, everyone. This is Pop and Politics. We are putting together a special broadcast tonight. We are generally on every Wednesday night at 8 p.m., but sometimes we pop on here throughout the week or on the weekends when there's really trending topics we just can't wait until Wednesday to talk about. So that's why we're here. We're popping on. That's why you have to subscribe and hit the notifications bell so you know when we are going to go live. So again, this is a special broadcast. I'm KJ. Let me introduce you to my co-host. Tonight, it's Shelly E. and it's Crystal.
Hi.
How are you ladies doing tonight?
Hi.
Excellent. All right. So, as I always say, join the conversation by leaving a comment on YouTube or Twitter. We will check the comments periodically throughout the show. And don't just comment, subscribe. As I mentioned, subscribe. This way, you know when we decide to go live here on YouTube or Twitter. You always get up to minute notifications. And it helps to grow our community. We appreciate the support. We are also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify under the name Pop and Politics. So if you want to just listen to us while you drive or while you're doing your workout, whatever, you can certainly do it that way. We're on Rumble also. Like I mentioned, we are an independent media, and each time you subscribe, each time you donate, it does make our voice that much stronger. Again, we are a necessary voice in news and entertainment. All right, ladies, let's set it off.
Let's go. Happy Saturday.
Okay. Yes, Saturday.
I had a great happy hour on Friday. I was so jealous.
Oh, I know. We missed you, Crystal.
Yeah, it was a nice time.
It was.
Y'all look so fly. Oh my God. Y'all got to follow them on social media because
definitely. And we was a conservative happy hour here in Baltimore. So we got together with the Baltimore City Republican Party. Yeah. Conservatives like to have fun too.
Y'all make conservative look so cool. Let me tell you, they so fly.
Thank you. We all do. So good. All right. So we want to get right into this. As I mentioned, or tonight we said we were going to discuss a couple different topics. One of them being trad wives. So not sure if you guys, the audience, is familiar with trad wives, but basically what it is a kind of like a traditional wife. So it's the idea, it's been all over TikTok and news and social media. Are you guys familiar with trad wives?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Right. And so basically it's this idea that these women they want to go back to sort of like the golden days or the older days of traditional wives, sort of like June Cleaver, and things like that, where you go back to the idea that moms, are more homemakers, so it supports homemaking. Men are the patriarch of the family, males are the patriarchs, husband and wives, traditional marriage, supporting children, sort of like that. It's been all over social media. I did have a write-up about it I wanted to just go into quickly. My goodness, now I can't find it here. Well, it's fine. So what we're talking about tonight is this. And really, Candace Owens had a show recently where she talked about this whole idea of trad wives. And she really went in on Megyn Kelly. And so I wanted to kind of talk about it. I thought this was interesting, and I want to kind of bring this to our audience and see what you guys think about this. So it all started with a tweet that Matt Walsh put out on Twitter. And so let me see here. I want to show that to you. All right. And bear with me here. So here it is, the tweet he put out. Now, this was last year, but Candace just did a show about this last week. Mm-hmm. So if you guys haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out. But she brings to spotlight Matt Walsh, saying he came out with this: all a man wants is to come home from a long day at work to a grateful wife and children who are glad to see him, and dinner cooking on the stove. This is literally all it takes to make a man happy. We are simple. Give us this, and you will have given us nearly everything. Okay. So that was what he said. Before we go forward, what do you ladies think about what he said there? I'll start off with you, Shelly.
What did he say? He didn't say anything poignant. Most men want to come home to, to peace, food, good sex, whatever, back rubs. Most men want that. That's nothing new. I mean, okay. And like you mentioned, he said this last year, but we're going to talk about Candace Owens. I'm going to wait.
Okay. What do you think about what he said? Do you agree, disagree with what he said, Crystal?
I agree with him, but what I could say about, like, men are just not allowed to say what they want.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. I'm glad he didn't say someone who's skinny, who's cooking. Like, okay. Men are just not allowed to say what they want, and it sucks.
Yeah, okay. So this is what he said. I didn't think it was controversial either. I mean, pretty much basic. This is what men want. And, as conservatives, we're more traditional thinking minded when it comes to this. And it is, we believe in masculinity, femininity, things like that. So, basically, I agree there.
Yeah.
So let's move on. Mm-hmm. All right. So let's get back to it. So that was that. Then Megyn responds. Megyn Kelly.
Megyn.
And she says, true for some men, sure. And being a stay-at-home mom is a beautiful choice. But many of us have men who don't want this at all, who want the vibrancy and excitement of a wife with a career that makes her happy and lights up the fam. Happy to have such a man in, and she mentions her husband.
Right.
All right. So I want to start with you on this part, Crystal. Do you feel like she kind of took his comments out of character? What do you feel about how she responded? Was it right on, or what are your thoughts there?
I think that she's allowed to say that. I do think that she does that with the risk of criticism, because he did not tag her. He didn't call any specific names out. And she kind of put herself out there that, obviously, but she's allowed to do that, right? And I agree with her that in this modern day, some guys do find that attractive. But the truth be told, it is cultural. It is cultural. And I don't think she's wrong for saying that. But I think when she says that, she has to acknowledge the Western culture, because that's just not most men. It's just not.
Okay. What are your thoughts there, Shelly?
Like I said, he put something out there. She put something out there. Okay. Anytime you put something out on social media, whatever side you take, you have to at least know that someone may respond. That's all for or against. So that's a non-issue right there. Mm-hmm. As far as Megyn, to me, was not disagreeing with him. What she was doing was, I guess, adding to or maybe even expanding a point. She wasn't disagreeing with him at all. Her first sentence was, stay-at-home moms, a beautiful thing. Mm-hmm. So what? It's a non-issue to me. Again, I'm going to wait because I think Candace Owens is instigating this.
Okay. You know what? I don't know if I have Candace's clip.
Oh my God.
But she did. So Candace said, took this and said that Megyn Kelly she said she went too far with her response. She said that basically Megyn was what do you call it?
Projecting.
Projecting, right.
She was projecting.
Right. She was projecting.
She was sensitive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
she was taking it personally.
She was being overly sensitive. She said Megyn was projecting something because she felt like she read more into Matt's comments than what he was actually saying. All right. So I want to keep it continues on. So let's see here. So that was that. And then there's this. So then they were responding to a video from a leftist who put out a video talking about being with a masculine man. So I want you guys to take a look here. So, and then I want to get your thoughts. This is a YouTuber. She is a popular YouTuber here, and she came out with a video. And basically, to give you some background, she's a leftist, but she went on a date with a conservative guy, and she's giving her kind of response to going out with a conservative guy that she just never, doesn't really do. Take a look here.
I went on a date this week and I felt the feminism leaving my body. I live on the east side of LA, and if you don't know what that means, it's sort of like the artsier part of LA. You know, it's people say it's like Brooklyn and New York. Like, so I go on dates with a lot of men and women who, you know, live over here. There's always a negotiation about who pays, and that's great.
And first you heard she said she men and women, so she going.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, she going. They're men and women. So I want to know if you caught that. Go ahead. I'll go on.
I like to pay for people, all that. But what I will say is that I sort of fell into going on a date with the most guy's guy I've ever been on a date with. And he's from West, you know, Santa Monica. He's a bro, right? A guy's guy is usually not my type. Like, I cannot remember the last time that I went on a date with like a straight bro. You know what I'm saying? But it's
and if we have any guys watching, I would really like your opinion on what is a guy's guy, what is a bro's bro.
Oh, there is a difference.
Listen, here we go. So
it befell me in an organic fashion. So I'm on this date with this guy, and the thing about a guy's guy is he's putting his card down. He's paying for everything, and I really it sort of activated something feral in me. I'm not gonna lie. We went to like another bar, and he was gonna go to the bathroom. So I was getting prepared to pay for our drinks because he's been paying all night. Of course I'm gonna pay for the next round. But as he's going to leave for the bathroom, he turns to me and he hands me his credit card. And he goes, "Here's my card. Get us whatever."
Yes.
Happy time for me to get away from all these, you know, liberal snowflakes on the east side.
Yeah.
All right.
I love it.
Okay. First of all, to me, I don't know what her name is, but this was so silly. It was just silly to me, right?
You.
She went viral.
It was so silly. And I'm going to bring up Candace since we don't have a clip for Candace. This is why I think Candace is instigating this. Number one, the initial post by Matt Walsh, like you said, was 2023. February, a year ago. Why is she just talking about this now? Well, I think because she wanted to bring this up as a framework so she could get a dig at Megyn Kelly. That's what I think she did. That's why I think she did. And I think she showed this silly girl here, okay, whatever. She showed her to use as sort of giving her the backbone. See, leftist women really do want strong conservative men. I don't know if they do or don't. I don't think they do. I think this girl is silly, but I do think Candace Owens was instigating this whole thing and making it into much more than it had to be. That's what I think. And I think Candace is just, I'm going to use Jason Whitlock's word. She's prickly in that way.
She's so messy. And I love her.
Yes.
Y'all, we are in media, okay? Like, when I think of media, I think of Wendy Williams. I think of, you know, the Breakfast Club. They are messy. Okay. Your job is to instigate, right? And like to kind of, and I didn't think there was anything wrong with what Candace said, especially because she was trying to tie it to the girl who went viral. The girl is so cute. And I think what's most important is I think she brought out the beauty of what it is to be a woman. And we like it. I don't care. You could be the dykest.
Who to be a woman?
The young girl, the girl that went viral.
Oh, the silly one, the silly little girl.
That's your words, not mine. You could be the dykest of the dykes. You could be the hardest of the hards. You could be anything. When a man shows up, when daddy shows up, and that shadow come over your head, and he take care of this, do this, do what I said. I'm telling you, it's kind of like that meme. Y'all seen that meme going around? It was like feminist, and it got the woman in the kitchen. It was like feminist when the war starts. I think that's how it is.
See,
before we go on, I want to show you. So that was that. So then they responded to this TikToker's her video, and so take a look here. So here we are again. So Matt comes out. And he basically says, why should the man play the traditionally masculine role of paying for the meals if the woman is not going to play the traditionally feminine role in return? So then,
which is what?
Well, I don't know. And then,
no, I'm just saying. Not that you have an answer. I just want to go ahead.
And so then Megyn says, actually, no, she doesn't. She can find a man who pays and also gets completely hot for a working wife who doesn't cook or behave like any sort of traditional, remember the traditional wife. So what are you guys' thoughts there? He says, why should the man play the traditionally masculine role of paying for the meals if the woman is not going to play the traditionally feminine role in return?
Look, if you want a traditional family, it is nothing wrong with that at all. Stay-at-home moms, it is nothing wrong with that. That does not mean that there are not some couples where the woman works outside the home, like Candace Owens does. Okay, like Candace Owens surely does. She is not a traditional one. I think she pretends to be. Of course, she might cook. I cook. So what? I still work outside the home, and so does Candace Owens. See, this is the problem I have with this idea. She's talking about Megyn projecting. She's projecting, in my never to be humble opinion, this facade of her being this traditional woman at home, and she mentioned that she was privileged. Okay, there are millions of women who can maybe work their lives, if you will, have a career, take care of the home. I'm not saying it's easy, right? I'm not saying, but if you want to be a stay-at-home mom or wife, and that's what your husband wants, be happy. It's a beautiful thing. It doesn't lessen those who do work outside of the home.
Well, he didn't say anything. I think the most important thing about what Candace was saying, he didn't say anything about a wife that doesn't work. He said a traditionally feminine role, which is true. I mean, I don't think that it has, like, we talk a lot about Bible verses and we talk about the Proverbs 31 woman.
Exactly.
She worked.
Exactly. She had her own business.
But he didn't say not working. He said traditionally feminine. And the fact of the matter is a lot of times, especially in the Black community, because the women are making more money, then they feel like they can boss, they don't have to cook. It's different if you talk to your man, like if you're not traditionally a good cook. I am not the greatest cook, but I try, and I still try to be feminine. I still try to allow my man to lead. I think he couldn't specifically say what that was, like you said, like what does he mean? But exactly. I think we all know what he means. Meaning,
well, if we all know what he means, then Megyn was not wrong with her retort. Because if we all know what he means, and what we really believe and what he really means is a traditional woman that stays home, takes care of the children. Okay, that's fine. Nobody is downing that. I'm not, you are not, KJ's not. But if we know what he means, then Megyn was not wrong with her retort to him.
I don't think that
keep going. Yeah, let's keep going. So it doesn't end here. So then she says here, this shouldn't even be controversial. A woman who accepts gender roles when she can get a free meal out of it, but then rejects them in every other context is being self-centered and inconsistent. And that's, to put it gently. So this is what Matt says. He comes back and says this, and here we have this idea that, we do have in this modern society, these women, the independent woman, and they're not, they don't want to do anything traditional at all anymore. and they actually don't. Some of them don't even like traditionally masculine men.
Right. Well, look, there's a few comments here who's saying some of the things that I'm saying, at least. A couple of comments about Candace isn't traditional. She has a nanny. And one of the comments says her husband stays at home while she works. So with the kids, she does work. And she's jumping on Megyn Kelly, saying that Megyn is personalized. No, Megyn is just giving more, I don't know, again, more information for the discussion, carrying on the discussion. Candace, again, I think Candace is doing this because she wants to take digs at Megyn Kelly. In short, I think she's jealous of Megyn Kelly.
I think that she was defending her boy, and I do think that. So, are you going to show the clip about how Megyn Kelly went off? Do you have that clip?
No, I don't have the clip. Okay,
so I can talk about it. So, where Candace was coming from is Megyn Kelly, like, basically, like, went off. Like, she went on, like, she was like, I feel like Candace can say what she needs to say without taking digs at Megyn Kelly. So I agree with you, Shelly. Like, I didn't feel like she had to take a dig because I think they're both right, like you said. Yeah. But she, Candace is being Candace. That's my girl. I like her. But she said, like Megyn Kelly was going off on being being a working woman and basically kind of came for Matt Walsh's wife in some regards, like, everybody doesn't want to stay and be a fucking homemaker or something like that, like she said. And so Candace was saying, I use my platform. Candace even said, she was like, I like the gender roles. She said, but I use my platform to uplift women who have made the choice to stay home. And we do, you guys, us working and career women, we are rough and hard on women who choose to stay home.
No, I'm not.
Clean their house, cook, and do laundry. We be like, oh, you stay at home.
No, a lot of women can be snotty like that. Yes. I'm not one of them. I want to respond to the Charlene's comment to me. She says, Shelly, I never thought I'd disagree with you. Megyn is an opportunist. Candace speaks the truth, and Team Candace all the way. Charlene, we do disagree, dear. And let me say something. Megyn's not an opportunist. If she is an opportunist, the opportunities she has taken, she has used them to benefit herself, and her family, mind you. She does take care of her family. She is married with her 3 children. She loves her family. Her husband loves her, whatever. They have a good relationship. So she has nothing to be an opportunist about in regards to Candace Owens. She has made her way, if you will, on her own terms, or however she's earned it. So she has no need to be an opportunist towards Candace Owens. She has already carved the path. And in some ways, the path that she's carved, Candace Owens is actually partaking up the slack, if you will, just like we are. People came before us, and we're able to do what we're doing because people came before us. So yes, Charlene, we do disagree.
But I do agree with Candace Owens in regards to, like, feminism. So Megyn Kelly does represent, strong woman, working woman, like, and honestly, that doesn't represent the healthiest form of family. I'm not saying that you can't do it. It has proven, especially if you want to talk about in minority families, feminism has killed our families, and women, unfortunately,
and this is okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, have lost their way. And so I think that it's very important to talk about the feminism movement and the burning of the bras. And here you go.
And that's what I was going to say. Feminism, again, talk about history. A lot of us don't know our history today. A lot of these Thursday. Again, I don't know if you remember when Delano was on with us a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about feminism, and I mentioned the comment, I'd like to break feminism up into the waves that it is. Today, we seem to put all feminism in one pot, and it's not. So what we have today, a lot of the younger generation is really postmodern feminists, okay, or feminism. That's not the traditional feminism or historical. And again, people don't know their history. So I disagree in that Megyn represents the worst or the negative kind because her family is intact. She left a job so that she could be home more with her family, just like Candace Owens is doing.
Yeah.
And let me just say, I personally feel like sometimes instead of us, it's this whole idea, every time we talk about relationships now and different types of relationships, it's so adversarial. It's so catty. And I feel like instead of us, I'm sure Megyn and Candace agree on more things as far as traditional relationships, as far as family, than they disagree on.
Probably
but it seems like a lot of times, we choose these small parts that we disagree on and make it a much bigger thing. Even with Matt's initial comment, I mean, he didn't say anything about stay-at-home moms. He just basically said, whether you stay-at-home mom or you are a homemaker, men like you to cook their food. They like to be coddled. They like to be taken care of. And I think we all, as conservative women, agree with that. I think
nobody disagree with it.
Right,
and Charlene, I do love you, dear heart, and it is okay to disagree. I love you too. I just love you. We're okay, but but we agree with Matt, and I also agree with Megyn. Again, I agree with you, KJ. These extremes are being picked on, if you will, or chosen, and then they are made to be the big issue.
Right. Exactly. So,
but I feel like I do feel like Candace was making I think she's a journalist and she's a podcaster, and I think she made a story out of it.
Candace is not a journalist. Megyn really is one.
She made a story out of it, and I thought it was fun. I felt like she was defending her boy, and
he was digging at Megyn.
I had no issues with it except for the fact that I felt like she could have said the exact same thing without saying that Megyn was triggered or projecting. Like you don't have to say those types of things to make a certain point. But Candace is messy.
Exactly. I think that's the whole thing.
She's messy, and I love it.
All right, we do have to move on. We do have to move on to the next topic, but yeah, I thought it was interesting. I thought it was definitely an interesting conversation about trad wives, traditional wives. We definitely got to revisit it and dig a little deeper, another time. All right, moving right on to Letitia James. So this woman,
speaking of messy.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Exactly.
Right, exactly. Speaking of messy. So you guys don't know who she is by now. She's that New York.
You don't even want to know, but
I know. She's the New York Attorney General, a Democrat who has made it her mission. Before she even was elected Attorney General, she wanted to get Trump. She wanted to get him bad. I mean, it's really ridiculous. They're obsessed. They really are obsessed with the man.
Yeah.
So that was her mission to do. Right. And now she has a new mission. Now she's going after the baker from Colorado and demanding that he bakes this cake for this LGBT couple. So Letitia James, according to the Washington Examiner, she took a break from trying to destroy President Trump's company this week to demand that Colorado baker Jack Phillips make a cake with a figure of Satan and a sex toy on it. So Phillips, who successfully defended his right not to make a cake celebrating a same-sex wedding by the Supreme Court in 2018, is once again facing legal harassment from someone who wanted to force him to make a cake celebrating a gender transition with an obscene and blasphemous material on the cake. So this guy, he's Christian, he's very big on his faith, and he said, no, I'm not going to do it. And they're trying to push him to do this again. So now this New York Attorney General She tweeted out, Masterpiece Cake Shop, a Colorado bakery, refused to make a customer a cake when they found out it was to celebrate her transition. This bakery has discriminated against LGBTQ plus people before. I'm urging Colorado Supreme Court to stop this transphobic discrimination. Lady, what are your thoughts?
I hate these people. Hate is the strongest word that I can, like, I loathe these people. Like, how dare you, ma'am? Like, you don't have nothing else to do with the migrants in New York. You got nothing else to do with your kids that can't read and write. Your city is falling apart and you talking about make a cake? Like, screw you. Like, it just makes me so mad. They hate Christians. They hate our God. And unfortunately, she's so stupid that she's allowing the LGBTQ plus IA kind of struggle bus it with the African American, and we're just buying it hook, line, and sinker. And it's stressing me out, y'all. It's stressing me out.
Yeah.
What I don't understand, number one, is she's in New York, and this baker is in Colorado. So I don't even know how she even got to that jurisdiction. But what I do think on the other side of that is that she is being propped up because now she has these these accolades from this Trump case, right? So now she is the Black woman who's taking down all of these, these people who are supposedly, anti-gay, and they want to be Christian nationalists. So she's on a mission, and she's at the pinnacle right now, and so she's riding this wave, being propped up. Little does she know, when it comes crashing down, these people will not be around for her.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's terrible. It's terrible. And this is what we were talking about a couple weeks ago. When you think about civil rights, you never, in civil rights legislation that passed in the 50s and 60s and 70s, you never thought that this was going to be the end result. And so this is why, there's a movement now talking about Martin Luther King and whether his movement was actually good for America. When something like this occurs, you have to question, was it really good? Was this the intent, to force Christians to go against their faith and make a cake with a penis and a Satan on it?
Yeah, it goes against everything that we believe as a country. We believe that our rights come from God. Nobody should be forced to do anything. And I'm sorry, I have rethought this whole MLK thing. There is no reason that we should have forced these white businesses to eat their burgers and their fries and their coffees. And this is the end result. It never stops. Soon you're going to be forced to do all kinds of things, and we literally have churches now not performing weddings at all. If you need a wedding at a church, they will not perform your wedding. Why? Because they do not want to perform your wedding, and then a gay couple comes and they don't want to perform the gay couple's wedding, so they will get sued. So they stop performing weddings. Y'all, this is not what this is not.
Wow. I think this is bigger than just, of course, her going after this baker. Ultimately, the left wants to tear down our Constitution, and they want to rebuild it with a different Constitution, leftism, the Constitution of progressivism, or, leftism, whatever, Marxism, certainly cultural Marxism and communism. Ultimately, they want to get rid of the free speech, the First Amendment, certainly, and any other amendment that follows. Leftism is its own religion. If you take away the underpinnings of our Constitution, which are Judeo-Christian values, and you substitute them for leftism or Marxist values, we have a whole different country. And that's ultimately what they want. That is what they want.
Yeah, it's about power. It's about power.
Exactly.
It's about control. And what they're doing now is, like you mentioned, Shelley, they're using this critical race theory, this DEI, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, and they're using it to create this power. So whereas they put in place stooges that that they actually act as if they're trying to push diversity, but instead they're putting in these stooges of color, is what I call them. They don't care that they really don't care about diversity of color or diversity of thought, whatever, but they're using it to put stooges in place like Letitia James to do their bidding. All in the in the facade of DEI and equity and inclusion and all this stuff, when it's really fake.
I love alliteration, right? So these are at least 4 or 5 types of people that we should definitely be on the lookout for in regards to leftism and changing our constitution. Prognosticators, pundits, pastors, politicians, and any other P you want to perverts. Perverts. So look for those 5 types of people, and those are the main groups who are undermining and destroying our Constitution bit by bit. And I'll say something else. Crystal normally says something like this when we're live. The rest of us need to wake the hell up. We're not mad enough.
We're not mad at it, and it just kind of makes me embarrassed as a brown-skinned woman that they are finding these brown-skinned fools, like they just dumb, and we're exposing ourselves. I mean, like, we kind of knew it because you guys, we've all been to university and we've seen these kind of women. Like, we've seen them, and everybody thinks they're smart, and we're sitting there looking at them like they are stupid. And so now they've been placed on a pedestal, and we're seeing it in all these spaces from the Fannie Willis to the Letitia James to all these Black women that are so gifted and talented, and they are stupid, and they're being used, and they don't even know they're being used, but they don't care because they are in the spotlight, and they just feeling it. Their mothers and their grandmothers are probably turning over in their graves.
Well, speaking of these women, take a look at this. This is a video or clip of a mother, and I want to see what you guys think about this mothering here. She's doing a lot of mothering.
Excuse us.
How old is she?
They are 15 months old. We actually use they, them pronouns. We're great until they tell us who they are. That's why you were like, who, what?
Oh, wow. Okay, so
They.
Uh-huh. Awesome. Well, enjoy the Pride Parade.
Did you say thank you? Thank you.
We're pulling apart this idea of sex, which is related to genitals, and gender, which is related to how you move in the world. So what you wear, how you share your identity with other people, all of those things are related to gender.
White liberals.
Wow.
That's one of my P's. The pervert class.
White liberals.
That's the pervert class.
It's one of the most popular and controversial accounts.
What is this? And you saw the lady. The funniest part about it to me was when she initially said that to the woman. She was like, "Oh," even she was like, well, "This woman is nuts."
Very much so.
She was like, "They are 15 months. I'm looking for the second baby. Hold on, what day?"
Yeah.
I mean, when I first saw that, I mean, of course, your heart breaks for that child, for that baby. Right. I think had it been one of us, I would have said, "Baby, I hope you get a new adoptive family." I really do. I would have called the mom, probably said, "You little pervert, you freak," or something. I probably would have said something like that. Yeah. I don't know, but my heart breaks. Ouch. We are. I'm saying we collectively, we have elevated mental health, mental illness, abusing children, perverts, to make them the norm, and now every damn thing is upside down. And so if it's the norm, then abusing children is okay.
Yeah. Right. And the crazy thing is this hodgepodge, like you mentioned, of perverts, of deviants, of people who want to take away your rights, they're all Democrats. Yeah. They're all Democrats. It has become a situation where before, when you hear people who say, "Oh, I'm a Democrat," you can say, "You know what? I disagree with some of your policy issues and some of your stances, but okay, that's your choice. I get it." Now it's like, you hear this and it's like, you're weird. Do you understand who you are putting yourself in the pool with? People like that lady.
Yeah, for sure. And the baby is walking at the pride parade and there's no kind of disdain. That's my issue with this community, is that there's no kind of like social condemnation when anything happens. I mean, like you can literally see somebody have Jesus dressed up in a rainbow and nobody's allowed to say, hey, y'all, we probably shouldn't do that. Or you can see, you know, kids there. You can see families there. You can see drag queens sticking their fake penis in front of a kid, and no one says, hey guys, we're really not, because you're either all or nothing. You're either in it or you're out. And I don't understand how we still have people who are Bible believers. We didn't like it when Trump said it, but how are you, or as a Bible believer or a Christian, saying that you are a Democrat at this point? Like, it is utterly disgusting. That's the reason why they can't condemn pedophilia. They've even, you know, the move to, don't say pedophile, because everything goes with these people. Everything.
And not only that, you saw again, we have this idea where they're changing the language. This week, Biden came out. He's no longer calling these illegal aliens. He's not calling them illegal aliens. He's not calling them illegal immigrants. He's not calling them migrants. Now he's calling them newcomers. Newcomers.
He's a fool.
Well, you know, a few years ago they were new Americans, right? I think that was, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was Martin O'Malley. I can't remember who said that, but they were new Americans. Of course, you know, they're migrants. No, they are illegal aliens.
They're criminals. They are criminals.
There you
Anytime you break the law, like, and that's what people don't understand with these people. These are not normal migrants that overstayed their visa, you guys. Like, you know where they are. You kind of, these are people that walk over into another country. Shelly, KJ, you would never go, I'm just going to stroll across the Canadian border.
You can't.
It's illegal. Even if you could, Shelly, why would you not do it?
It's illegal. Exactly.
It's illegal.
But KJ, you're right. Like you're saying, KJ, they're changing the language. Again, this goes back to undermining, and not just undermining, destroying our Constitution, the First Amendment. They want, if you don't say the words that they want you to say, then they want to take away your free speech rights and censorship and all kinds of other labels.
DEI, that's what DEI is all about.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of which, y'all saw that clip where those civil rights leaders were sitting there talking about, crime is only crime because you name it as a crime.
Wait a minute.
And if you change the name of illegals, if you change it from being a crime, then it's no longer, like, that's
what you're talking. I'm literally halfway through that. It's called Black Men in America, and it's on, I don't know, I think it's on Peacock.
Do we have that? I'm gonna look for that.
We're in clown world.
Oh my God.
If I'm in my house and my kids are disrespecting me and my kids are running around the place and treating me, all I got to say is, you know what? That's no longer disrespectful. So technically they're not disrespecting me.
Yeah. But again, first, we got too many adults, parents who not necessarily on the left, but they are afraid of their kids. They want to be their child's friend instead of the parents. So then they go out into the world or out into the marketplace, if you will, and then they don't know. Well, I don't want to say this. I don't want to do this. I want my child to think I'm cool. Damn that.
Yeah.
Damn that. I'm not cool.
Yeah. Somebody said we are in danger. Homeschool Mom 23 said we are in danger. I agree.
Oh yes.
Completely.
Yes.
You guys, we are losing our country. I don't even know if it's repairable at this point.
Yeah, I don't know either. I wish I could find that clip. What was it? It was Benjamin Crump saying.
Crump was saying that. Yes, it was. Look up Black Men in America, and it's probably like a preview for it somewhere. Yeah. I don't know. I used to think that there was there's some, you can save some things, but more and more over the last year or two, I think we already over the edge.
Oh yeah, right? For sure.
We're in free fall right now.
Yeah.
Gravity is having a field day, and we can't push it back up.
And y'all know I'm MAGA like all the way. Like President Trump is my boy. But I am dangerously afraid that they will never let him back into that White House because of how far they've been able to kick this thing down the road. And they know that the last time they let him in office, he was able to change around some things. And they are something's gonna happen that they've got just this tight hold on this. Like I'm seriously afraid.
Well, we got good news. We got good news so far this last couple of weeks with Trump. I mean, he's winning these elections. I think he just won Michigan. I think he won
Idaho.
Did he win DC? I didn't check.
Oh, I know if you.
I don't think so.
But and then with the Supreme Court rulings, you know, they're pushing back his cases. Looks like to a lot of them are going to be after the election. So we got some good news coming in. So I'm holding on to that.
Let me correct this. I said DC. I said I don't think so. I don't know. Let me correct it myself. I don't know if he's won DC, but it is only the primary Republican Party, so he may win for the primary. But Crystal, to your point about not letting President Trump back in, I've been saying I believe they want him dead.
Oh yeah.
And a big fear I have, or concern I should say, is that before they allow him to take the oath, they will try to assassinate that man.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say assassinate, but I know something big is going to come down, and they are not going to allow him in that White House, and that scares the living snot out of me, because at this point, like, he is the only one strong enough and proven himself to not be able to succumb to the pressure that these people put on presidents, you know. So and there's something weird, you guys, about Nikki Haley still staying in. Like, that's why I'm so concerned, because this is weird at this point. Like, why would she stay in? Why? What does she know? What is somebody telling her that she's just kind of hanging out there? And it scares the living snot out of me.
I think I did find that clip. I want to share this with our audience before we get out of here. Take a look at this. I think this is it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Ben Crump is a crook.
All
like
of those
Al Sharpton.
Profile us for.
Would arrest them for.
It's like they come up with things to profile us for. And so whatever laws were made, I believe this with everything in my heart. We can get rid of all the crime in America overnight, just like that. And people ask how, Attorney Crump, change the definition of crime. Of course, if you get to define what conduct is going to be made criminal, you can predict who the criminal is going to be.
That doesn't sound like we're criminal, though.
Yeah.
Our existence is
the culture.
criminal.
But they made the laws. They make the law to criminalize our culture, to fit us. Black culture.
So drug dealing, stealing, just make them not a crime anymore, KJ. Stealing cars, just make it non-criminal.
But do you understand? This is the natural progression of when people look at the outcome of things and not look at the actual law. This is their thinking behind everything. This is the leftist thinking behind everything. The whole idea of disparate impact. They look at the jails and they say, oh, it's nothing but a bunch of Black people in jail. Right. So of course that means the laws are racist. Right. You know, and so now he's saying, you know, get rid of crime. You get rid of the
right. Yeah, he said if you rename it, whatever, it won't be crime. And again, I watched that part. That's the part where I stopped at because I got to replay it again. But he was basically saying this is this CRT. So he said they come up with these names. So therefore, if they relabel or they label something a crime, then you can assign that particular label to certain groups, and then those groups will be arrested more and imprisoned more. See, that's his twisted logic with the CRT. He is slick. He's slick. A lot of people say, I used to say this, I still say it sometimes. They say that they're dumb. They're not dumb. They know exactly what they're doing. What they are doing is getting rid of our Constitution. They're breaking down all foundations and structures in society that hold together our society. They don't want the United States of America under a constitution, certainly not under Judeo-Christian constitution. They want a leftist, Marxist, communist social constitution. That's what they want.
Yeah,
and the crazy thing is, you have Rachel Maddow, you have the View ladies all saying, "Oh my God, if Trump gets into office, he's never going to leave," and all this type of stuff. But what we just saw is the thinking of most of the people in the Democrat Party. That is dangerous.
They are insane. And I'm sitting here watching these Black men that people so-called look up to. These are idiots, and they are weak, and they are disgusting. You mean to tell me that's what they tried to do in Baltimore? You remember Marilyn Mosby got rid of quality life crimes. Right. So they stopped criminalizing peeing and defecating on someone's step. Who do you think that's affecting? Oh, just make it legal to pee and defecate on the steps and of your Black neighbors. Who are you hurting? Like, if you decriminalize carjacking, right, just change the definition of carjackings. Oh, okay, so it's no longer a crime. So somebody just walks up to your car and just takes it. Well,
that's right. That's right. And talking about, like, again, Marilyn Monroe, one of my P words, what was she? A prosecutor, right? She was a prosecutor. And if you peed and pooped, some more P words, peed and pooped on her steps, well, she had police protection, 24/7 police protection, paid for by all of us to keep her steps clear and clean.
And you know what? It makes it so sad is because these people, these men, and all of these people that are saying this are basically saying to Black people, we don't think that you are able to behave in a way that society will accept you. We think that you're idiots. We think that you're incompetent. We think that you are degenerates. So we actually have to change the law to accept your degeneracy and your bad behavior.
Right.
I wonder if they said it like that, Black people would say, huh? Oh, no,
wait a minute.
No, I can do this. I can do this.
No. Crystal, wait a minute. Biden, he came and told us, if you don't vote for him, you ain't Black anyway. So hell, I don't know what it's going to take.
You're right.
No, they're doing this on purpose, because if they continue to say this kind of stuff, unfortunately, they already, some believe it, and they're going to continue to believe it. And once they start implementing these draconian policies, it's going to create chaos.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And so this is the end game, and we as Christians, we as Bible believers know that chaos is not of God. But this is what they're trying to do. They want chaos to implement or bring in a new world order, so then that they can put themselves in power and say, oh my God, everything's gone out of control. You need us to maintain control. And that's what they're trying. It's all about power. It's all about power.
I hate these people. They say you're not supposed to hate. I hate these people.
Yeah. We do have to continue to move on to let me see our final topic of tonight. And guys, if you're watching here for the first time, or if you've watched us before, our mantra is to be aware and prepare. And this is what we're talking about now. Be aware and prepare. Right now, we're past trying to change people's minds. We really are. We're past trying to change people's minds. When we initially started our show, Pop in Politics, our goal was to reach the urban community and provide, information and knowledge in hopes of changing minds, changing hearts. If we present this information, we try to take off the veil and let people understand, see how this is being manipulated. Now we're trying to gather like-minded people and say, look, this is what's going on. You need to be aware. And what are you going to do to prepare about it? What are you going to do to prepare? That's it. And this is why we try to grow our channel, grow our community. If you're watching here for the first time, please subscribe if you haven't. If you have subscribed, please share this with other like-minded people. Maybe some people that are on the fence and you're thinking, they're coming slowly towards reason. Share it with them. But at this point, we have to know what they're doing, and then we have to prepare, because it's coming. It's coming. It's not about if, it's about when. It is coming. And so we have to prepare for it.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Prepare ourselves, prepare the next generation, our children, our families that are, like-minded and thinking, and we have to prepare them. That's it.
This is basically it's just like the Walking Dead, out there with the walkers. They wanted to just ravage you, and you need to set up some compounds, if you will, like you said, KJ, of like-minded people. There's gonna be some things you disagree on, but those are not the big issues. Those are, in a lot of ways, they're distractions, right?
Yeah.
Get your compound of like-minded people, and shore up your area and show up your life, if you will, your community, your family, because we have to be prepared. We do.
Yeah, we gotta be prepared. Because these people are crazy.
It's
crazy.
They're crazy.
No, Kelly. We should not. No, we're not saying. We didn't say be aware, prepare, and scared.
No, God has not given us the spirit of fear.
No fear.
Power and love, and most importantly, a sound mind. We know
that's why we're going to prepare. This is why
be transforming the renewing of your mind, Kelly. Is it Kelly? Yes, Kelly. I mean, I understand you, sweetheart. I understand. But we do have to push back, if you will. We certainly have to speak up and speak out.
Absolutely.
You certainly have to do that.
Right. And like Charlene said earlier, I think more people are starting to speak up and speak out. And I'm so grateful for that. Mm-hmm. And that's what we need. We need more people to speak up because they want us to remain silent. They want us scared.
Yeah,
for sure. They want to scare us into submission.
Right. Yeah, and that's one of the things that I like about Candace, whether people like her or not. I appreciate her she was one of the first. You guys, I mean, like she truly was. And she took a lot of heat for it. And I'm glad that she did, because I mean, she kind of made it,
I know this is going to sound petty.
You were. I know.
She was one of the first, maybe for this generation, but she was not. Okay. So I'm a little bit older than Candace or whatever. So I know that she was not the first in a sense, or, she was. No, and I'm not, again, and I agree with much of what she says. I just don't like her little snotty, pissy, petty attitude.
Yeah. No, she was one of the first to put herself out there, and she got ripped
in this generation.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Thank you, Charlene. We have a super chatter here. Charlene says, love you, ladies. Thank you, Charlene. We love you too. Thanks for watching.
We appreciate it.
With us.
Yes, thank you, Charlene.
See,
we disagree and we laugh.
Yeah. We don't agree on everything, but Lord knows we don't.
But I know that we're all on the same side. We're on the same team.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it's about. So, we are going through here. Yep, she was. She saw the truth. Yes, she did.
Yeah. She helped me see the truth. I mean, I read her book Blackout, and it really changed any brown skin female. I would say that Blackout kind of speaks to them. Like, if you're on the fence and you're not really understanding, read that book Blackout. I guarantee you would just be red pilled for forever.
Yeah. All right. We're going to keep it moving. Last topic of the night is DEI. So we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier.
DIE.
Right. DIE. Right. So I want to talk about this basically in the talking about Florida. So you guys know I love my boy DeSantis. He's always pushing things to the front of the line. He's always there, standing up for people before anybody else does. I'm sorry. Crystal is all Trump, all MAGA, and I am all DeSantis.
I like DeSantis.
I know.
What? I love him as long as he know his place, boy.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, DeSantis in Florida, they just passed a law where they got rid of DEI in all of the universities. So the University of Florida on Friday closed its diversity office and fired 13 full-time staffers to comply with this new state law that bans Sunshine State schools from spending in these ideologies. So the University of Florida has closed the office of Chief Diversity Officer, eliminated DEI positions and administrative appointments, and halted the DEI-focused contracts with outside vendors. They are pushing these people who are working these jobs have an opportunity to apply to other jobs within the university system.
The other real jobs. Get a real job.
Right. $5 million allocated for diversity, equity, and inclusion will now be redistributed to faculty recruitment, it added. This is according to the New York Post. So,
teach English, ma'am. Teach science. Get a real job.
I mean, right. What do you guys think about this? I'll start with you, Shelley.
Well, first of all, I want all big government to be reduced. So anytime there's taxpayer money going to pretty much any government program other than the military and the absolute necessities or essentials, other than that, get rid of it anyway. So hats off to Governor DeSantis. This DEI program or system, it's a system, is really a remake of affirmative action. It's a remake of CRT, all packaged into this little cute sounding language again that they have corrupted, and it means nothing. It really just means I can discriminate against you because I don't believe in your beliefs of Americanism, maybe Christianity, Judeo-Christian values. It's just a backdoor way of doing nothing and wasting money along the way.
Yeah, what are your thoughts, Crystal? As a brown girl, like you say, I mean, is it kind of crazy that we're loving and we want to, continue with DEI? It's supposed to help Black people.
First of all, I don't need no help because I am smart, I'm gifted, I am made in the image of God, and I'm pretty. Why would you not hire me? I don't need no DEI, no affirmative action, nothing else. These folks were losers. They were literally incompetent people that thought that they could play God. Equity is trying to play God. You cannot ensure the outcomes of people. I don't care how you try. I don't care how many extra things that you give to people. And so DEI is being exposed because how long has it been? It's about 10 years old now, right? Like in different places, depending on where you are. And the results have not rendered what they are. Why? Why don't you think? Because it doesn't work.
Right.
There's another gentleman who agrees. I want to show you guys this clip. This is Vince Ellison.
I love him.
If you guys are not familiar with him, I certainly encourage you to look him up. He's got YouTube videos. He's been on Tucker Carlson. He's been on Jason Whitlock's his show, Fearless. He's been all over, and he is on fire. He's on fire conservative.
Wait a minute, Kelly said she was a little afraid. Kelly should watch him and get her courage.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's no nonsense. No nonsense. He actually sort of reminded me of you, Shelley, a little bit. Some of the things he said. But I wanted to play just a small snippet of his. He was recently at Young Americans Foundation. He was a keynote speaker talking about DEI. Take a look here. All right.
Are now being bought into the white community, and it's been bought by the left. People, DEI is a Trojan horse. Let me in. Let me in to choose your leaders and choose the people to elevate. Let me in. And I'll choose the best ones. Are you boss? Yes, I will. And then they end up getting the ones who are not going to do you any good whatsoever because they haven't. Have they?
Nope.
They haven't. See, the proving ground, you guys, is the NFL, NBA. America accepts those young men on the football and basketball field because they know they all earned it. We have no doubt. This is why the Super Bowl we watched the last time was the most watched TV show in the history of television. All those black men out there on the football field, everybody's cheering. You know why? Because you know all of them earned their right to be out there. Yeah. It is no doubt. Those coaches are not going to put you out there if you don't earn it.
It's so true.
Right.
And he also, KJ, he also says, if affirmative action in DEI was working the way that it was supposed to, we wouldn't continuously need it. You would only need it for a couple of years. You will only need it maybe in the kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth, fifth grade, and then eventually you catch up. It is literally one of those policies that never ending. Doesn't work.
It doesn't. Just like Social Security doesn't work, right? Just like other programs, welfare don't work because they keep you in the same condition as when you first apply for the benefits. And not only that, talking about again this language repackaging. They will repackage something and call it something else because the first iteration didn't work the way they thought it would or wanted it to. So now they gotta repackage it, make it sound a little slightly different, give it some different acronyms, and it's the same daggone thing. It still doesn't work. Now, granted, let's say people say, well, what about they're not going to hire you because you're black or whatever? There are businesses all over the country that will hire people who may not have the top skills, but the business people, they might see a lot of potential in that person, right? And they give them a chance. They may not be at the top, but they can mentor this person, train these people, and then put them in some kind of training program for the particular industry. It happens all the time. They call them internships, or apprenticeships. That's what they call them.
And I disagree with you. I disagree with you guys on one point.
Okay.
DEI has worked. It has worked to put people into these offices, into these upper level executive suites just because they look brown. Now we have a crayon box, but the crayons are broken.
Yes, they're broken.
They're broken. They're all chopped up. They're raw on the top. They're not working.
Yeah,
so you're right. So your point is I think what I'm saying is that the DEI certainly was never about hiring skilled and competent people.
No,
it was only about color. Right. And if you fit that color, you fit that maybe that sex, if you're a woman or a man and you fit the color, has nothing to do with your skills. That's why these people rake in millions of dollars a year and they don't do anything except check the box off that they applied for.
Yeah, and Kelly and Shelly, you were saying a lot of times these DEI people, like some of these companies, they do DEI on their own, like you said, with internships, because they recognize that maybe somebody doesn't have the highest of scores,
right,
or maybe they had some challenges that they should overcome. That in true sense is DEI. I think Roland Fryer actually said that. It's not about a color. It's somebody who you really think is talented and capable, and you want to try and figure out if you can help them a little bit. My thing is, brown skins, where have you become so insecure and so messed up in your mind that you want to work for a company that does not like you because of your skin color? I don't want to work for a company that does not want to hire me because I'm brown. I don't care. I don't care what they're paying. I don't care I do not want to do that. And we have to get to a point where we're that serious to love ourselves and be confident in our abilities that we're not walking into these institutions or these organizations always say, oh, well, they don't want to hire a black person, because it's not true, you guys. It's a lie that we told ourselves. And in the small instances that it is true, we don't want to work for those companies anymore.
Right. And KJ, you were saying something about I don't know, Crystal, hiring people or kindergarten, fifth grade or whatever. The question is this: why are our, let's say, young people, why are they graduating without any skills anyway?
Yes.
Because our public school system is screwed. It has been so changed and messed up. They're not teaching them anything.
No, and you're right. And what they're doing is they're lowering standards.
Yeah,
we talked about this earlier. All across the country, in cities all across these educations, what the mayor in Chicago was just doing it, where they've decided to get rid of the gifted and talented programs and because they said not enough people were meeting those standards, and they're now trying to just equal it out across the board. We were talking about it on our Wednesday show, how they stopped giving homework assignments in some of these things. It just doesn't make sense, and we're not becoming stronger as a country, as a people, as a culture. We're actually becoming weaker.
Yeah, and King Fan 5 said nobody cares about color. That is true, you guys. There are a few ignorant people. I'm not saying that there's no ignorant people in the world, but at this point, let's stop lying to ourselves. If people are not hiring you, it's because you are unqualified. So get some skills. Our culture has become a culture that does not uplift reading. It does not uplift overperformance. It does not. Oh, I don't care how much they say Black excellence. It just means that they can dress well and speak well, and they are utterly messy and incompetent. And we have seen it on the world stage with all these people. So we need to be honest about where we are as brown-skinned people and do better. Do better.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about do better. Look at we just had this week. You know, the little boy. My heart went out to him, young man. I think from Texas, who was on the press conference, upset that they ruled the guy he had dreads. I have dreadlocks. Shelly has dreadlocks. The school said that he could not come back to school with the dreadlocks because it did go against the dress policy, the dress code policy. And the court upheld it. The court upheld the school's decision. Have you guys been following that story?
I have been.
I haven't been following it, but it is evidence of us being out of order. I am sorry. We have standards. And if this place says no dreads, then no dreads. If they say,
well, they didn't say no dreads. They didn't say no dreads. They said that the policy reads that if your hair, if it's even if it's braided, if once you take it out, if it comes down, I think past your ears. Now he had his kind of braided up, but it was saying he couldn't wear if you take it out, it comes past your ears. That's against the code. Now the court upheld that because technically he was against the code. Now this is how I am on that verdict. I kind of disagree with, I don't think hair, listen to me, I don't think hair should be necessarily end all be all. But I also think on his family side, they're making this an issue over whether he's going to have dreadlocks or get a good education. Now, I mean, to me, it's a non-issue.
It doesn't matter what we think. The schools, we all private school our kids, and we all know that if you want to do something. I mean, you would see these Negroes go online at a school that has if you want to be Greek and follow all these stupid rules. Oh, you can't do this. You can't do this because it's something that they want to do. But the minute that someone else wants to have standards and tell you what to do, or you should teach your child, hey, baby, that's just the rules. Hey, baby, it's just hair. If you want to keep your dreads,
that's my point.
Have it off your. We want standards for what we want to stand. I sit there and I watch all those Greek organizations, all those all these stupid things, and they have no problem following. They follow him to the T.
No, that's my point. That it should not be this much deal made about hair in getting an education. Again, that's my whole point. Is this I don't necessarily think that hair should be a point, if you will, to this level. That's my point. To this level.
I agree, but I mean, they make those standards for for whatever reason. I agree. Sometimes the standards are stupid, like you got to wear, but it's what it is.
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and they chose to go to that school, so that was
right. That's the number one thing. And I wanted to show it very quickly. I have the clip here. I believe this is the clip. Take a look here.
It's with state law.
It is like deja vu all over again.
Representative Ron Reynolds of Houston didn't think he'd be fighting for change again
You look
when it
familiar.
comes to a black
This is
student's
him.
hair at Barbers Hill High School. He is one of the co-authors for the Crown Act in Texas, a law that was originally inspired by DeAndre Arnold, a former student who sued the same school district 3 years ago.
This was one of our top priorities, and to see it happen all over again, after we work so hard to get the bill passed in a bipartisan way, it is a slap in the face.
2 weeks ago, school officials suspended Daryl George for his twisted dreadlocks, citing that it violated the dress code, which says in part that male students' hair cannot, quote, extend at any time below the eyebrows or below the earlobes.
Mm-hmm.
However, his mother, attorney and civil rights activists, argue that George ties his hair up when he's in school, so the length shouldn't be an issue.
It's not that they have a problem with the length of his hair. They have a problem with black hair.
See, this is what I mean. You got all of these pundits, right? These hustlers, they're making this issue about his hair versus what goes into his brain.
Exactly.
And they're showing this child, you know what? This is a minor issue, but we were going to raise it, talking about the extreme again, right? Again, you chose to go to this school. Personally, I don't think it should make a difference. But this is the school. This is where you chose. And I mean, now you got all of these attorneys, pundits making this child's hair the issue while he's sitting home and not getting a good damn education.
Yeah, we so stupid and we so small-minded. These kids cannot even read, and you sit up here teaching them to fight over stupid stuff like the Crown Act, whatever the heck that means. First of all, you have to follow rules and regulations, and like I said, Blacks love to follow rules and regulations when it counts to them, because the club tell you don't wear no sneakers. You don't come in no sneakers, okay?
Yeah, and let me say this. I agree with this. I like dress codes. You know, it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. You know, some people choose not to go to a school because they have a dress code. Some people, parents choose to send their kid to a school because they don't have a dress code. It's really, you know, I prefer a dress code.
Me too.
And the crazy thing is, the guy we just saw they're so twisted. My son's school has a dress code. If your hair is longer than a certain length, whether you black, white, blue,
you have to
whatever, you will get in trouble. It's not about the texture. It's not about dreadlocks or whatever. If it's a certain length, I don't care if you pull it up in his hair and wrap it around a bun, you cannot do it.
And that's what this code is saying. That's basically what this code is saying.
Exactly.
But like I said, they love it when they want it. I sat there with my girlfriends and we were looking up because we want to go to this restaurant. I tell you, the Blacks, we will go to the restaurant. What's the dress code? What's the dress? And we follow it to the T. But then something as important as school.
Right. That's my point.
Right. We do have a super chatter here. Thank you so much, KP. Says Quanell X race hustling. He's the one that came out. Dot, the woman that went to Dubai. I knew I recognized him. I said,
that's him.
Look familiar. Yeah, all of these. Benjamin Crump, this guy. I mean,
Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, and
exactly. They make a job out of this. And this is why they continue to push it. This is DEI. Right. They need this in order to stay in power and to make money. It's as simple as that. Yeah, it's as simple as that. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah. Okay. They get paid for this stuff. They do.
Yeah,
they do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's that, and they get something even more. They get power, like, you know, they get power. They feel powerful.
Exactly.
Black people worship these people, and Black people think they're so smart, and they don't understand that they are literally killing our future. No one takes us seriously as a people right now because these are the leaders that we're uplifting.
Right.
They get a power, like you said. They get a platform, and they get press coverage.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the terrible part about it, because the leftist media push these people up.
Yeah.
You know, we just talked about it last month. You can't go into a Black area library, school, nothing, and see anything for Black History Month about Clarence Thomas.
Nope.
No Condoleezza Rice.
Thomas Sowell,
Ben Carson. Good Lord, Ben Carson was right here in Baltimore. You go in there talking Black history in Baltimore City, you say Ben Carson, they will run you out.
An actual brain surgeon.
And they call him stupid. A brain surgeon, they call him stupid.
Right, because he decided not to go along with the narrative of the left. He didn't do it, and it drove them crazy. You guys, I don't know if you saw on the news recently, the Breakfast Club, Charlemagne came out, I believe it was Friday, and he was upset because an MSNBC host, I can't remember the lady's name, I think her last name is Greer, which he goes on a lot, called him all kinds of names and disgraced him because of his recent commentary about Joe Biden and the Biden administration.
Yep.
Step out of line.
There you go.
Oh, Kamala, did you see the clip where Kamala spanked him? Kamala was like, Charlemagne, and now he's getting sunned, and now he's realizing that, bro, you better get in line, or he will destroy.
That's what Sharon, was it Sharon or Charlene said something about Al Sharpton, how Al Sharpton has a job after what he did to Tawana Brawley. She needs to watch our episode from Wednesday because we talked about.
We sure did. We sure did. Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. He just came out with it on the Breakfast Club, Charlemagne, and he's just like so surprised. He was like, he comes on and he's like, I've been on her show, and I thought we were friendly, and she called him all kinds of names. She said that he was a Russian he was a Russian asset. She said that he was against the Black people and he wasn't using his platform correctly. Oh my gosh. And
he was like them apples, sir. And he's still stepping and fetching for them, because every single time that he says that Biden is incompetent, he uses that same breath to say, but Trump will be the end of democracy. Right. Newsflash, sir, we're not a democracy. We are a constitutional republic. And y'all said the last time that Trump was going to be a dictator. Trump was going to get us into wars. Can you imagine having a person like Trump with the nuclear codes? How about 0 wars, sir?
Right. They're just trying to beat him down, just like they did with, they do us all the time. We're Uncle Tom's, we lose our black card. This is just their version. They don't want to come out and say that quite yet for Charlemagne, but they know that he has a large audience. They know he has a large audience, particularly Black people, and they are afraid. They are very afraid.
Yeah, she said it about him and Mike. What do you call?
Yeah, I know you.
Killer Mike.
Oh, okay.
Because they have not endorsed Biden. Now they haven't endorsed Trump, but they haven't endorsed Biden. Now they're dead. You're dead to me.
Yeah, but they haven't endorsed Biden, but they also have a large Black audience, and they are afraid that they're going to again pull from that audience and get people to convert, if you will. Even if they might not vote for Trump, but they don't want them to not vote for Biden. So they are afraid. They're very afraid.
Yeah, they're very afraid. Yeah,
for sure.
And the only way they can do, the only thing they do instead of trying to connect with people based off of just reason and policy, they have to use fear.
Oh yeah.
That's what they have to do.
Yeah.
They have to use
fear is a strong motivator. Fear is a strong motivator.
When you don't know Christ. And unfortunately, these people like Charlemagne, I cannot respect him. I cannot respect him until he stands on his own 2 feet and say what it is he wants to say. And the fact of the matter is, every time he keeps saying, "Oh, I don't like Biden, but I don't like Trump either," it just sounds like a cop out to me.
Well, we all know. I mean, this is what they do. They prop up certain Black people. This is the whole thing behind DEI, and same thing the gentleman was saying earlier. They prop up certain Black people to be the spokespeople, the mouthpiece for these illegitimate movements. And it's been controversial, but that's what they're saying that was done with Martin Luther King. now and things. But they use these people as the mouthpiece for the whole community, and then they push them out everywhere via the mainstream media, and you come to think that this is, the thing to do, this is what we need to do, and it's really not. They're using it, it's actually destructive. It's destructive. We see this by its fruit. It has been destructive. You walk through MLK Boulevard in any city across the country, and you will able to get shot.
Right. That's my pundit class. Even the Charlemagne's, that's my pundit class. That's my other P word.
Yeah, you show me an MLK Boulevard where you can walk down there safely, and I will be surprised because I've seen many of them, and everywhere you go.
Don't do it in Baltimore. Don't do it in Baltimore.
Not in Philly. Not in DC. Nowhere.
Not even in North Carolina. Not even
the one saving grace. The one saving grace in Baltimore, if you walk down MLK Boulevard, is that one of the major hospitals, University of Maryland, is right there. So you might be shock trauma is right there. So you might get there a little bit quicker.
But when you get shot, you be right. You be very, very close.
Right. That might be the one saving grace.
It's sad, but it's true.
It's the truth. It's the
we
truth.
have a super chatter here, Rambling Roy. Thank you so much, Rambling. He says, love the content, breath of fresh air.
Thank you.
Now, let me tell you guys something. We know because we live it. Yep. A lot of these conservative, Black conservatives or urban conservatives or whatever you call them, they can come out here and they talk about this stuff, and we agree. I love these. Candace Owens is the content, Black conservative perspective, Tatum, Officer Tate, all of them. I love what they're saying, but do they live it?
They're not wrong for not living it.
I know, but we know when we speak it, we're coming from actual living it.
Oh yeah.
We can walk outside our door and maybe drive 10 minutes to MLK and show you that it's no promised land here.
Oh no.
It's no mountaintop or no MLK across the country. Okay.
Nope. Shock trauma is right there though, but
so that's what I'm trying to tell you. And they try to, and most of these areas are run by Black Democrats, and they have run it into the ground.
Not most, all. Let's keep it funky. All of these areas are ran by either Black or white liberals. It is just the truth. It's just the truth. Sorry. I know we don't like it.
Oh, we got another super chat.
Thank you so much, Loki, descendant of Loki. Thank you.
Thank you. And if you don't get shot, you'll probably run into a few homeless people.
Oh, yeah. Not only homeless, squeegee boys.
Squeegee
here in Baltimore,
what's the new language? What they call them? Unhoused.
Oh yeah. No,
unhoused.
It's
unhoused.
Not homeless, not unhoused. It's something else stupid.
You'll learn how to go lean because you'll see somebody on the corner. They not gonna fall. They not gonna fall.
It's sad. It's sad. When we laugh about it, it's really sad.
I know, but it's the truth.
It's the truth.
It's the whole truth.
Wow.
All right. Oh wow, Moscow, Russia. Oh my gosh. We generally, there's 5 of us.
Wow.
There's 5 of us generally, and one is from Russia, Belarus.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, one of our co-hosts. There's 5 of us usually. One of our co-hosts is from Belarus. She's Russian. Well, hello to you.
Thank you for calling in. Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
All right.
All righty.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are at the end of our time. Thank you so much, Sharon.
He said a super chat, y'all. Next week, I'm broke under Biden. Look, just share, you guys. We appreciate the super chat.
Yes.
Watch and share. Watch and share. That helps us.
Yeah, definitely. And
Ron, we're not gonna take your last, but we'll look for you for next week.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Oh, I am black and live in Russia. Wow.
Oh,
Okay. I was wondering why that is.
A Ken Deco. We
Yeah.
knew you. We knew who you was.
Yeah. I mean,
we could have guessed it.
I doubt if you were born there. Maybe I doubt it, but okay.
Yeah. I thought he was African.
African, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for watching.
Yes, thank you so much. We are at the end of our night. Any last thoughts, ladies? I'll start with you, Crystal. Just what we've talked about, anything you're watching or you're looking for in the upcoming week. We're still waiting for you guys know we have been in that fanny all week.
Yeah,
we've been in that fanny. We've been digging fanny out.
I know.
We're looking for the ruling to come forward within what they said, the next 2 weeks. What are you guys thinking of that?
Oh God, I'm just praying for African American people that we find our value in God. I am so sick. Like this whole Fanny thing, I'm glad has come up and blown this whole thing out of the water. You guys, what we have been doing is not working. The leaders have betrayed us completely. So I want us to really start to get back to where we see our inherent value, which is in God.
Well,
pause.
Like I say, I was born free.
Me too.
I'm a Native American. I'm made in the image of God, fearfully and wonderfully made, and I still strap up.
Yeah.
Got to.
Yeah.
Especially if you go down to Martin Luther King.
I know. Well, I'll say my final thoughts are, be aware and prepared. That's what we started out the broadcast with tonight. That's what our aim is. That is our mantra for 2024, to be aware and prepare. And so I'm going to we'll continue to say that. And we hope to see you guys on Wednesday. Wednesday at 8 p.m. is our general, our broadcast. We usually broadcast on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. So hopefully you will tune in. Until next time, count your blessings and live a life of purpose.
See you guys.
Bye, everybody.